Hey, what's up? I'm Pierre.
And I'm Sebastian from the band Simple Plan.
And we are here to tell you about the time we...
For me, it was when I met Seth MacFarlane. Obviously, we played this award show in Canada, in Toronto, and I just saw him in the hotel lobby, and I was like, oh my God, you're Seth MacFarlane! So right away, I took a picture with him. I turned into a complete fangirl, because we saw him later at a bar, so I just decided I'd sit next to him, like, hey, do you need a drink? He's like, yeah, Jack and Coke. I'm like, okay. I just went and grabbed him a drink, brought him a drink, and then I was drinking with him, well, next to him, really, while he was hanging out with his friends, but I was just there. Next to him.
And then we invited him to one of our shows, right?
Yeah.
We were doing a show that night, and we invited him over, and he did come to the show, but it took so long for us to get started. I think he left before we started playing.
Yeah, he left before we played, and I was
it could have been the beginning of a friendship that could have lasted forever, but unfortunately by now, Seth MacFarlane has long forgotten who we are.
He gave me his email, though.
He did?
Yeah, it doesn't work. No.
He gave you a fake email?
He was not STARSTRUCK by Simple Plan.
No, he wasn't STARSTRUCK.
I remember it was Mother's Day, and I went to a brunch in the city. It was somewhere in the States, and they had bottomless mimosas for some reason for lunch. And I was with Patrick, our merch guy, and we started drinking. And then we had a show later on, but it was a 20-minute set, so it was very short. But it was the first time I was actually drunk on stage. But it actually gave me enough confidence to just go up to Flo Rida, who was also playing that show, and I gave him a hat. I'm like, you like hats? It was a Simple Plan hat. And then later on, we ended up playing with him at an award show. So I planted that seed.
You did.
So sometimes day drinking is better than night drinking, yeah.
Bottomless mimosas is where it's at.
It's making me sick, feeling nostalgic.
I've never actually wanted to quit the band, but I can tell you one guy that has wanted and tried many times would be Jeff.
Yes, Jeff. Basically, every single time we'd argue, Jeff wanted to quit the band.
Yeah, at the early beginnings of the band, our guitar player, Jeff, the guy with the shaved head, he was threatening to quit the band so many times, even actually the day before our showcase for Atlantic Records, which is still the company that we're signed to today. We had a showcase to hopefully get signed by them.
He did quit that day.
The day before, he's like, I'm out of here, you guys are stupid, and I'm quitting. And he left the rehearsal space, which was Chuck's parents' basement, and ran out to the train.
Sounds better when you say rehearsal space.
Yeah, and then Chuck said, guys, hold on, I'm going to go get him again. This is like the 5th time he does this. And so Chuck runs after him and says, like, Jeff, come on, we have a showcase tomorrow, just do this, and you can quit the next day.
Yeah.
All right, I'll do it. And 20 years later, he's
still in the band. He
yeah.
doesn't threaten to quit, though.
No, now he's giving up on it.
Now he's very happy, yeah.
Now he's very happy.
Yes.
We were playing a show somewhere in Ontario, Canada. I forget where it was. Brampton?
Yeah, Brampton.
I don't know where it was. And we had one person in the crowd. It was like a festival show where there's multiple bands, and one person in the crowd obviously didn't like the band Simple Plan and decided to throw a bottle that was full right at the stage. And it was a good toss, and it landed right on my face.
Right in his face, yeah.
Yeah, and it clocked me right in the eye, and I was a little bit shaken by the thing. It cut me, and I was bleeding, and I was like,
you
whoa.
left the stage.
I had to leave immediately. I went to see my tech, and I was like, what? Look at my face. What's happening? He's like, oh, you're fine, you're fine, you're fine. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, you're cut pretty. Oh, wait a minute. You're cut pretty bad.
Yeah.
And yeah, I had a big cut under my eye, and I think it actually shattered a piece of my eye orbit.
Yeah.
But I had to go to the hospital and get it all stitched up. And,
luckily, it was the last song, so we were pretty much done.
Yeah. But yeah, and I found out later that it was actually a young girl that threw the bottle.
Really?
So yeah, it's pretty funny. But she had a good throw. Apparently, she was a pitcher in baseball.
Apparently,
yeah,
obviously she was.
But yeah, it was pretty shocking, and it gave me a week off work, so I went back home and just chilled out. But I got a nice big black eye and a cut, and I can feel like I've been punched in the face once.
It looked badass.
Yeah, it's pretty badass. So there you have it. Once again, I'm Pierre.
Sebastian from Simple Plan.
Thanks for hanging out, and we want to know, who would you like Rock Sound to do this with next?
Let them know in the comments below.